Hi, this is Bob Barr, bringing you another of Liberty Guard's Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. Before we get to the law of the universe that we're going to be talking about today, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Liberty Guard on social media. The law that we're going to be looking at today represents something that's very much in the news right now, and that is the precipitous and disastrous fall of Afghanistan to the Taliban. The law of the universe that we're going to be talking about today, and which relates directly to the Afghan crisis, is law number 111. Law number 111 tells us, reminds us actually, that when things don't turn out the way government leaders want, they simply lie to make reality conform to their narrative. Well, you may say, Barr, that's no surprise. We know the government lies all the time. But the results can be disastrous and cost lives, as has been the case in Afghanistan most recently. One of the reasons, for example, that President Biden assured the American people and the rest of the world that the Taliban would not be able to take over Afghanistan quickly, at any rate, which they did, was because he said the Afghan military is 300,000 strong. That is, there are 300,000 active, operational Afghans in their military.
Your own intelligence community has assessed that the Afghan government will likely collapse.
That is not true.
Can you please clarify what they have told you about whether that will happen or not?
That is not true. They did not reach that conclusion.
So what is the level of confidence that they have that it will not collapse?
The Afghan government and leadership has to come together. They clearly have the capacity to sustain the government in place. The question is, will they generate the kind of cohesion to do it? It's not a question of whether they have the capacity. They have the capacity. They have the forces. They have the equipment. The question is, will they do it?
This is absolutely patently false, and our government has known for years that it's not the case. Yet they persist in lying to the American people to paper over or camouflage just how disastrous and how bad shape the Afghan military and its government actually was. This would be bad enough if you only have, by one study by West Point, the U.S. Military Academy, that places the figure of active Afghan armed forces at 90,000 rather than 300,000, or actually in excess of 300,000. That's bad enough. But if you compare that figure of 90,000, which is optimistic anyway, to the figures that our military has assessed the Taliban at, which is at or in excess of 200,000, it becomes obvious very quickly that the situation in Afghanistan that President Biden presented to the American people to convince us or show us that Afghanistan was not going to fall, that these figures were way, way out of line. And in fact, the country was in dire shape. You don't have to read a bunch of studies. Just talk with some of our military who have been over there in Afghanistan over the years. And to a person, at least everyone that I've spoken to, and I've spoken to a lot of our veterans that served in Afghanistan, they will tell you that the Afghan military is not and never has been a fighting force in our sense of the term.
You're not ready. You don't have a helmet on. The Jeep doesn't have a rifle right now. How is he ready?
It's like having 26 kids that I have to watch after. It really is.
Ready would be on the road, staged, ready to move at 8:30.
I think if they introduced drug testing to the Afghan army, we would lose probably 3/4 to maybe 85% of the army.
If Biden and our government had not out and out lied to us about the situation in Afghanistan, the American people might have been able to do something to have prevented that disaster. But the government lied because the narrative fit what they wanted to present to the American people rather than the reality. So that's our Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe Law for the Week, law number 111. That if the government doesn't like the reality, they simply lie in order to make it fit their narrative. We look forward to your being with us next time on Liberty Guard's Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. This is Bob Barr, and I'd like to thank you for having checked out our program here today. We appreciate your support, your participation, and encourage you to go to libertyguard.org to learn more about our programs and also to help support to further individual freedom and fight against government abuse. One of the ways, but not the only way we do this, is through Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe, but through many, many other programs in support of individual liberty and against government abuse. So please remember to join us. Go to libertyguard.org and join us once again for Bob Barr's Laws of the Universe. Thank you.